Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Salvage 2021 webinar. Today here we are about to introduce a new feature in which is applied and used in Salvage 2021, which is called subdivision modeling. Here I'm Yashar, and along with me Sylvia here we are to organize and run this webinar session with you guys. This is a presentation only, and once after finishing this webinar, if you guys have any sort of question, or if you have if you require any more information regarding Salvage subdivision modeling, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. The details are on the page, info@hplm.com.au, or you can contact us. So I'm going to start talking a bit about subdivision modeling. Basically, it's a new feature added in Salvage surface environment in order to enable CAD users who work with surface modeling to achieve complex surface geometries. Subdivision modeling is basically an ability or a feature to craft complex shapes, and it is not sketch-based. It's basically based on some basic shapes that we use to start with. In subdivision modeling, users can subdivide the basic shape into some cage vertices, and then you can actually drag the edges, the nodes or areas of your basic shape in order to achieve the complex shape that you would like to design and create. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, which is the Salvage environment. So basically, you guys can see my screen. So here I'm going to show you how we can actually create a shape like that using subdivision modeling using basic shapes. So as you can see, this part is made of some complex shapes, which definitely using surfacing tools are recommended, and we are going to start using subdivision modeling to achieve that. So I start with using the sketch environment as using plane environments. As you can see on my planes, I actually added the images of my design. You can always use that in the sketch environment. You can use the insert image to insert the images, and you can use the edges of an image to create the parts. That's a basic, the general process of creating the parts. So basically, to start with subdivision modeling, we go to surface environment, and in Salvage 2021, we can see that there is a new feature added, which is called subdivision modeling, and it is added in here right next to the curve groups. If I hover over that, there is an explanation of the subdivision modeling. So we choose a primary shape as a starting point, and once we start the shape, we actually have cage vertices and edges and faces to adjust the design. We basically use the steering wheel to change or add the topology. So here I'm in the just the start environment. In the home tab in surfacing tool, I click on the subdivision modeling, and as soon as I click on the subdivision modeling, I can see I'm in subdivision environment, and here are the basic shapes instead of the sketch environment that we can start with. So to achieve the part like that, I'm going to start creating the shapes using the shape tools and place them in my environment, relocate them, and use the vertices to reshape them in order to achieve this design. So I start by creating a sphere. I place a sphere here. It starts usually on, I just grab over my command bar in here. So it usually starts from the center, and if you want, it doesn't start from the origin, you can actually select and change the start point. I actually have all the dimensions roughly, so I try to achieve as close as possible to get the result. So probably I start with the diameter of 20, and once I have it located, I can see the spherical shape is placed, but the feature of subdivision is it has the vertices and edges which I can use to reshape my sphere. So right click to place the part, and as you can see, I have a sphere located in the origin. Looking at it from the front view, I have the ability to select these cages to drag the part and reshape it. For example, easily I can select the top edge and I just drag it, let's say 85, to come to that area. Also, I can select this left side and just drag it by 15, and I get to some sort of area closer here. Now I'm going to slowly go through different tools which are available in subdivision modeling, and we can see that how we can actually benefit from them. So you've got an option which is called split. If you want to add more subdivides or more sub areas, you can actually use the split, and the benefit of that is you can select a specific area rather than a full area. For example, here, if I want to select the top face, all this surface will be selected. But if I just want to select a sub area, I need to split them first. So I start with the split tool. I can actually select it to chain, and when I just select the top face, it can divide into some sub areas. And these sort of sub areas, I can select them independent from the other areas. So I'm happy with 2 for now. I can actually move them to some other areas as well. Let's say I put it in here. And if I look at it from the front view, maybe I move it to this edge, the edge of the handle. Now I'm happy with the result. I just finish, and I come out of that environment. Now you can see that I have 3 sub areas in here. The other option is scale, which is actually scaling down a surface, a face, or an area which I actually select. Let's say here I've got this face. I select that. You've got 2 keyboards options. One is X to select different planes, or Z to select different axes. So Z to select different axes, and you can select them from your command bar as well, or X to select different planes. So this is the plane that I just want to scale it down, and once this face is scaled down, the area which is actually associated with that will be affected in my geometry. I'm going to drag this one down, and while I'm doing that, I can either dynamically reduce it, or I can actually just enter the value. Here I'm going to add 0.2, and I'm happy with the result. I just select right click to accept that. Same for the other face. I can select this face. I can just scale it down to 0.3, and then right click to accept. So now if I see my part from the front view, I can see that I'm getting a little bit shape closer to the sketch on my plane which I want to achieve. Now, for example, you want to move that surface area down to this nose. So I just want to bring this nose down to this to be aligned to that sketch lines. Easily selecting that area, I can just easily drag it down, sorry, first of all, I just need to come out of the scale first. So once I'm out of the scale environment, I can actually select that face and the steering wheel comes up. So all the features of the steering wheel which we use in SolidEdge synchronous modeling, they are applicable and they are available inside SolidEdge subdivision modeling as well. As an example, I can drag it down, I can drag it out, or easily I can select this inside disk to freely move it to any location I want. So these are exactly the synchronous features available in synchronous environment. They are exactly the same and applicable in subdivision modeling as well. I can easily drag it down to bring it aligned to this point. And as you can see, I'm getting close to the general shape I want to. Here, for example, this area needs a little bit of relocation to be moved up to this area. I can easily select that area and I can just again select the disk and just bring it up to some position I want to. You can actually do all sort of further adjustments. For example, you can easily come over here and select that edge. So here I have the quick pick options which I want to pick. I want to pick the edge, which is that one. And if you see it from the front view, I can easily drag it up and align it with my sketch. So I'm sort of happy with the result. Now I'm going to just add further adjustment into this area, and then I will continue with the rest of my model. I'm going to select this edge in here, and I'm going to, once I hover over it, I wait for a few seconds. Quick pick will actually give me the list of options which I'm able to select. And here again, this is the edge that I'm able to pick. Having a look at it from the front view, I can actually drag it a bit further to get the result I want. And here also, I'm going to select that edge and just drag it to where I want. So you can actually do all these sort of further adjustments based on what you actually want to do on your surface model. So once you're happy with that, you can now select this face, and we're going to drag it up in order to add the material into this zone. If you remember in synchronous, once we selected face, we are able to move it, or you have one option that is called lift, which is to add by maintaining the faces of my part or geometry. You can see here, I want to add the material and none of these faces to be affected. Basically, I want them to remain constant or remain in their position. So I select the option lift. Once I select that and I just drag this face up, I'm able to actually add the material and move this face up to some edge. Exactly, again, I'm doing that based on the picture which I've attached to my plane profile. Looking at it from the front view, I'm going to add it up to this point, or maybe a bit further. Yep, that would be good. So now I have a sort of shape that I am trying to achieve. I will turn off the sketch a bit further so you can actually see my result. Before that, I will select this face. I probably want to scale it a little bit in wider direction to just make it a bit wider. Again, I easily can select the scale, and by selecting Z, I can select my the axis which is in line with my y-axis, and I just drag it a bit further to probably I go up to maybe 5, and that's the result I can get. So you can see that here I just turn off the sketch. You can see it's a basic shape I can get. Having a look at your Pathfinder, you have two set of collectors. You have one, the subdivision body, and then the other one is the cage. And by turning this one off or on, you are actually toggling the visibility of your cage. The other one is the part itself. So in case if you are working with a little bit complex geometry, if you want to control the visibility of your cage, you can actually tick them on or off from here, and also your geometry from here. All right, I turn on this sketch. I'm going to the next step, which is adding this sort of shape to the to this area. So I can start with probably a torus. So once I start the torus, again, same as my previous sphere, it starts from the origin, and I can change the origin to other areas, or also I can define the number of segments or the cages I want to have. So for my torus at this stage, I only need 4 and 4 in here, and then I'm going to apply the sizes to my torus. Going to put 5 in here and 25. So I'm going to get a that's probably not what I want. It's a little bit small. I'm going to add this one as 5, and this one as, yeah, I can dynamically scroll up or down to get the sizes I want as well. 25, enter. So if I look at it from the front view, yep, I think that's pretty much in this, roughly the size of this area I want to add. So now I've got this torus in here. I can select my torus and using the steering wheel to move it. This one is still set as lift. I just have to change it back to tip. And now I'm able to move it left. Let's say, I think 60 should be good. And then I move it up by probably around 5. And now I can use the steering wheel to rotate up to somewhere which is roughly aligned with that sort of the sketch edge. So just roughly, I'm somewhere around it. Now I would like to drag this top face to just be aligned exactly with that one, and also the bottom face. What I can do, I can actually just turn off the cage of the other face, the other part, and just select this top cage and use the disk to just move it to be aligned with that surface. And I can also do the same for the bottom one. If I just select this area, and if I can actually see it from here, that it is like that. All right. So if you look at it from here, you can see that I actually activate this cage. So you can see that I'm getting to somewhere. I probably just turn off my sketch again. So you can see that I'm getting close to the result I want. Even here, you can see that here there's a bit of interference. You can select that line to just drag that area a bit inside to cover that part that in here. So I just hover over it, wait for a few seconds, then I'm able to pick that edge. As you can see, I just drag it in, and I can easily just cover that interference. And you can see how easy I can select different surfaces of the cage or edges of the cage and then move them to reshape my complex surface geometry which I have on the screen. All right, let's activate the sketch. Now I can see I have, I go to for the next one, which probably adding these two handles. So in order to do that, again, I can use the torus, and this time I'm gonna add more segments to my torus. The reason for that is I need more subdivided areas because this one needs a little bit more control. I'll probably go with 12 of them, and then here again I put the diameter of I think 4. These are the sizes that you just need to work out to see what shape sizes are best to suit with the sketch. And because I don't have the sizes, I'm just trying to guess the closest one possible in here. And I go with the diameter of probably 25. Let me move it, see if it's gonna be good for that or not. I think it should be good because I can see that it can basically cover the sketch pretty much. All right, I go with this torus. I'm gonna move it up to here until it covers my shape. Actually, let me just try it again, see if I can get a better torus. So here I put 4, and that one I just put it to 25. Yep, I think that's possibly a good one. All right, so I just put it with the top view to my sketch lines, the image lines. And now if I look at it from here, all I need to do is just move it up for a bit and just position it into proper location. And now I need to rotate it. I'll probably move my steering to this point. And by clicking on the disk, I can actually change the position of my steering wheel to be in this direction. So then I can actually use it to rotate down my torus. I'll just bring it down to some point like that. And also I can just move it up a bit, a little bit further down. All right, let's have a look at it from here. Well, I think it's roughly good. All right, probably just one thing very quickly I'll also show you here is you also have, I'm going to go through fill and blend as well, but before that you have the option of symmetry. So if you have like a symmetrical shapes like what I have, rather than just working with sections in both sides, you can actually use the symmetric. What it does, it just turn off the symmetrical sections of one side, so you can actually work on only on one side, which is parallel to the other side, and all the changes or all the work will be applied to the other side as well. Exactly like same as symmetric feature when you work in the part environment. I'm going to use it here as well. So if I actually use the symmetric option and just select the symmetric plane. So here, this is going to be my symmetric plane. What it happens is you can see that the sections on the other side, they are turned off. Here they are on. So whatever I do here, it will be applied to the other side because it is symmetric. So look at it from the front top view. Probably this section, I don't want it because it is inside, so I just easily delete it. I can also come here and just delete these two from here. Also this one as well. So you can see here and there, they work both together. So I'm just getting some sort of shape which I want. Now I'm going to close this area off by using the fill tool, selecting fill. You're not working with the geometry, you work with the segments. You just select the edges and you can see that it is closing it off. Yep, I want it to be closed. I do that to the next one as well. So both are closed. If you're not happy with the end result, with the ends, you can always go and just use the blend tool to control your close area or your ends. So once you click on that, you can see the blend sharpness or smoothness you can control from here. So if I select this end piece, you can see that how I want it to be. More smooth or more sharp. So let's say 1, I'm happy, and right click to accept. And you can see that I'm working on this area, but because before that I applied the symmetric, this area is being affected. At any stage, if you want to stop the symmetry process, you can always click on stop, and further that your work will be applied only in that specific area, and the symmetric connection, which you defined by start symmetry option, will be disabled, will be deactivated. All right, now I'm going to the next part, which is here. I'm gonna start by adding a box. So again, you're gonna start from the origin. I'm gonna put some sizes. I'll put roughly for now, and then I'm gonna resize it when I bring it close to the image. 20, and here, let's say again 20, and right click to accept. You can see my box added in here. Gonna move it a bit even further outside to compare it with my blended top, this face here. So let's look at it from the top face. Again, rather than selecting the faces, I can select, I will select the edges in subdivision modeling, and basically I just drag it down to get roughly the size I want to. And now I'm going to have a look at it from this view. Again, select this and just drag it down by, let's say, 15. Now select it all and move it to here, roughly, and rotate it up. So here you can see that it's really not very, similar to the image, but easily I can select each end and I can reshape it. I'm going to select this edge, and easily I'm able to move it to where it should be, for example here, or I'm able to select this area and pick up the proper edge. Oh, I just picked the wrong one. So I just hover over it, I wait for a few seconds, and I'm able to pick the correct edge, and I move it to the correct position. And yep, going for the next one. gonna place it in here. And then the next one, we can see how I can actually easily use the edges of my cage and just reshape my part. And just select this face with the front view, drag it down to here. All right, probably this one also, I just bring it down for a bit too, so then it touch the other face. I'll probably start with this one because I need to rotate it down a little bit further down to here. So I'm gonna select this edge and then front view, bring it down to here, let's say. So you can see that how easy it touches my shape. So if you just look at it from the top view, you get the good result. And if you look at it from this view, yep, it is all touching. So I'm gonna turn off the sketch and you can see that I actually got the result. So using basic shapes and benefiting from the cages, I can actually apply more, split it and apply more pieces to have more control over my shape. So once I'm done with my subdivision modeling, I click on close subdivision modeling and I get a result like that. So this is actually construction bodies, but as we know, we can easily switch these sort of construction bodies into design bodies. I can easily toggle them from a construction to the design bodies. And even I can just, because they are separate design bodies, I can actually use the union tool to combine them together. And then I will get one design body. I can actually activate it, and you can see that the shape I want is easily achieved. Now I have a fairly complex shape. We generally using to achieve such complex shapes, we use surface modeling, and now I actually use subdivision modeling in surface environment to easily achieve such a design. Further, if I want to apply further adjustment or edits, I can use it in the design environment. For example, if I want to add rounds, I can just select, for example, round here. I put radius of 1. We can see that it easily accepts because now I've got a part that I'm in the solid edge part environment. So yep, that's pretty much it for today's presentation about subdivision modeling. We will try to post some more videos or some more information regarding this very impressive feature in surface environment. We will organize webinars more, or we will actually post more videos about subdivision modeling. In the meantime, if you guys have any question regarding this feature, please feel free to contact us, and we're happy to provide you with more information about solid edge subdivision modeling in version 2021. And I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar, and wish you all the best.